Hey everybody, it's Amos here with Darkglass, and today we are talking about the Alpha Omega 500. This is Darkglass's newest addition to the Alpha Omega line, which starts down on your pedal board with the humble Alpha Omicron, all the way up to the mighty Alpha Omega 900. This is a slightly slimmed down 500 watt version of the Alpha Omega 900. So let's take the tour. We're walking, and stop. Casting our gaze on the front panel of the AO500, we see it's comprised of a drive section, an EQ section, and a compressor. The drive section has standard controls for drive, level, and blend. Down here is the mod control, which is sort of the heart of the Alpha Omega engine, as it lets you go all the way from the distortion-inspired Alpha all the way over to the fuzz-inspired Omega, as well as anywhere on the continuum in between. The growl button gives your driven sound a boost up to 100 Hz for some extra low end, while bite gives you a high-mid bump at 2.8K. The EQ is a 6-band setup which breaks down into highs, lows, and a 4-band mid control. Next, we have a single knob compressor with an LED that will indicate when you cross the threshold and the compressor becomes active. I love that. And if you'll accompany me to the back of the amp, right this way, we're walking. The back panel has all the back panel goodies that we've come to expect, such as a speaker output that will accept 1/4 inch and speak-on connectors, an effects loop for the pedal board, input for the foot switch, and a DI output. And up next is the cab select button. Now the AO500 comes loaded with 3 different impulse responses. And an impulse response is something that lets you hear how this amp would sound through some very specific combinations of speaker cabinet and microphone in ideal studio situations. It's a mountain of gear that you can test drive with the push of a button. The AO500 also has a headphone out and 1/8 inch in, so you can use this beast as a practice amp. The amp is rated for 500 watts into 2 ohms, and thanks to its Class D power plant, weighs less than 6 pounds. Okay, enough of that. Let's listen to how it sounds in a couple of different musical contexts, and after each clip I'm going to walk you through exactly how I got each tone. We're rocking. So I definitely settled into a workflow as I was getting different tones with this amp. Since the impulse responses are a little bit unpredictable in an inspiring way, I cycled through them first to see if any of them were close to what I was looking for. I liked shaping the drive and the EQ with the impulse response already selected and then adding compression at the end. Through the Darkglass suite, a free piece of software, you can connect this amplifier to your computer, change whatever impulse responses are loaded in any of the spots, and audition literally dozens of combinations of speaker cabinet and microphone, including, I think, every cabinet that Darkglass makes. And I want to talk about this compressor for just a second too. I think that Darkglass has mastered the one knob, one indicator compressor. If you are familiar with the excellent hyperluminal compressor pedal, also made by Darkglass, they pretty much lifted the most musical and broadly useful setting, the bus or console compressor, and stuck it right on the face of this amp. It's sensitive, it lets the dynamics through while keeping your tone nice and steady. I also like the fact that the compressor is after the point in the signal flow when your clean signal and your distorted signal have been recombined. So it gives you that bus style compression, that glue that helps your sound feel cohesive even when you're switching back and forth between your distorted tone and your clean tone. I am a bass player who always thought I was a distortion guy, and I found out relatively recently that I identify as a fuzz person. And thanks to this amp, I think I've further discovered that I am sort of somewhere in the middle. I kept being drawn to the setting on the mod control that was about half alpha and half omega. So thank you, Darkglass, for furthering my personal discovery. I mean, like pretty much everything Darkglass makes, this amp is solidly constructed, it's beautiful to look at. The action on the knobs and sliders is really satisfying. I personally think that's really important. It's got a lot of personality, it's also deeply versatile. It is a warehouse's worth of studio gear packed into an absolute brawler of an amp that can fit in your backpack. And that will just about do it for our rundown of the Darkglass Alpha Omega 500. If there's anything more you want to see or know about this amp, let us know in the comments. But until then, I've been Amos, you've been amazing, and I will see you later.